Hello boys and girls, welcome to Mrs. Bandu's Math Movies. This is for Course 3, Lesson 3-2, the Pythagorean Theorem. Our objective is to use the Pythagorean Theorem to find the length of the hypotenuse of a right triangle. Okay, so basically our key concept to start out with is the Pythagorean Theorem itself. And it tells us that in any right triangle, the sum of the squares of the lengths of the legs is equal to the square of the length of the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse, hypotenuse. Okay. If you look at the diagram here, A and B would be considered our legs, and C is the hypotenuse. So if I take A squared plus B squared, that sum is equal to whatever I get when I square the length of the hypotenuse. Okay. The legs of a right triangle are the two shortest sides. They form the right angle. The hypotenuse of a right triangle is the longest side. Which is opposite the right angle. Okay, a little hint, leg or legs is a short word, so the two short side are the legs. Hypotenuse is a long word, the longer side or the longest side is the hypotenuse. Kind of just a little trick there in case you need if you're getting confused. Okay. Let's look at an example. Finding the hypotenuse. We want to find the length of the hypotenuse of a right triangle with legs of 6 feet and 8 feet. So we want to use the Pythagorean Theorem. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And this is a standard theorem. It's generally stated that way. You'll see it that way everywhere. Okay? So we're going to substitute 6 for A and 8 for B, and actually that could be flipped, it doesn't really matter. So 6 squared plus 8 squared equals C squared. Simplify, 6 squared is 36, 8 squared is 64. Add those together and it gives you the value of C squared. 36 plus 64 is 100. So 100 equals C squared. Now, the square root of 100 is equal to the square root of C squared. So the square root of C squared is C. The square root of 100 is 10. So the length of the hypotenuse is 10 feet. Okay, so basically I substitute in and solve for C squared first. Once I do that, I square root each side. So C gives me 10. This is generally the format I'm going to expect you to write out when solving anything in the with the Pythagorean Theorem. You're going to have to use the algebra to show the work. Okay, let's go on to our next example. The bottom of a ladder is 10 feet from the top. Excuse me, the bottom of a ladder is 10 feet from the side of a building. The top of the ladder is 24 feet from the ground. How long is the ladder? Okay, now you might find it helpful to sort of draw a sketch, because what it's doing here is you're basically thinking of the ladder making a right, being the hypotenuse of a right triangle, where the house and the ground form the legs of the triangle and the ladder is the hypotenuse. Okay, so again, we're doing a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay. All right, so it tells us that, and actually the way, let's call this A and this B because of the way the textbook has this set up. I'll stick with their format here. Okay, so a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Excuse me, I should have substituted there. It should be 24 squared plus 10 squared equals c squared, because I don't know what that is yet. Sorry about the scratch outs there. This is why we don't use pen in class. Okay, so 24 squared is going to give you 576, and 10 squared is 100. Their sum of 676 is equal to c squared. Now I'm going to find the positive square roots of this. Okay, and the square root of 676 happens to be 26. The square root of c squared is c, so the ladder is 26 feet long. Okay, it really does not matter which one of these, which one of the legs, again, you assign value A or value B. It all works out the same because you add their squares and then go from there. So don't get too caught up with that. Okay, there are only a couple of quick check questions. Please have those ready for the next time we meet in class. I look forward to seeing you then. Thank you.